think I'm on. I don't have my cam on right now because I'm eating dinner. But I do believe we're live and there's nobody else here with me. So, hi, Mark and Trash Cat and Andrew, Scabby Nona, Cat, Grasshopper. I'm not sure who else is in here. Like I say, I'll turn on my cam as soon as I'm done eating. I don't want to eat in front of everybody. And it just so happened, the world travels with Andre. Hi. And I think that's everybody. Just kind of wait for somebody else to get in here. I'm going to eat my burrito, so if you hear munching noises, that's why. Andrew. Let's get the thumbs popping up, y'all. Yep. I don't know where Bob is. I think Sara and Blacky will be in probably very shortly. And I'll be turning my cam on very shortly since I'm done eating here. And get some sleep, Sara. So do I allow total silence or do I talk with my mouth full? I will do that, Nona. I feel kind of bad sitting here without my cam on eating, but it was just one of those things where dinner got ready at the same time I was supposed to stream. I don't even know where Andrew calls home at, besides in his truck. Home is where I make it. Uh-oh. I just hot shoved stuff down in front of my shirt. Because I'm kind of a slob. So how's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody's weather? It got up to like about 83 today. But then in the afternoon we had thunderstorms and slight rain roll in, so just turn it off for a little bit. So of course it cooled off. It's like 67 right now. I was wondering if you were in Nebraska. It seemed like I seemed to remember that. My dad grew up in Indianola, Nebraska. You still got fires going there? Huh. No, I'm not giving you my chicken. I'm not going to give you my chicken. I wonder if Bob's even coming in today. (54°F) at 1 p.m. That sounds nice right now. Woke up to 37.5. Are you in Australia or something, Mark? Mark would never set foot in Australia. In Melbourne, okay. That's not bad wintertime temperatures. I could live with that. I wouldn't mind that right now. Yeah, there's a early wine family reunion coming up in Iowa. Because the early wine family is pretty big. My grandfather's family was pretty big. But he was kind of the black sheep of the family. And a lot of them didn't even know that he existed. A lot of like the grandkids and stuff, the kids my age. Because I know when they first started getting a hold of me and trying to figure out who I was related to, they didn't even know about my grandfather. He was the youngest of like, oh God, I think there was like 9 boys and 4 girls or something like that. And he was the youngest boy. But he died in Skid Row in Los Angeles. But the rest of the family kept pretty close and have like every couple of years they have big family reunions and stuff. It's just nobody really knows too much about my branch of the family because a lot of them didn't even know that my grandfather existed. And one of my cousins, or second cousins, she got a hold of me and was trying to figure it out. She was like looking through photographs, and she finally found a couple old photographs of the brothers that had my grandfather in them when they were young. So yeah. So I got one more piece of chicken to eat, and then I'm going to turn my camera on and scare everybody. I think. I pull the chicken apart and put it on my tortilla. And it's hot. No, trash cat. No, I don't think so. I don't know where everybody else is at. They're just leaving me all by myself anyway, so. Nobody said anything. I didn't see anything from Bob that he was busy, but he might be. Or he might have taken a nap and not woke up yet. Or he might just have decided he didn't want to be seen with me anymore. That's always a possibility, too. Oh, hush. I didn't even move my feet. What are you yiping about? The dog thinks that she should get some of this chicken, but she's not going to, so there. Oh, I see Blacky. Hello.
How's it going?
I'm eating my dinner, so I'm incognito until my dinner's done.
Rightio.
I don't know where Bob is. So how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Long morning. Had a big meeting with the people who oversee Mum and Dad's care.
Oh.
So yeah, they're always good because you get to iron out some wrinkles and get some things clarified and whatnot. So it's good. It's quite productive.
Hi, Travis. Hi, Divine. Mojo. Dog, no, you don't get my dinner. Back up. Mojo says, hey, Blacky.
Yes, hello there, everyone in the chat. Mojo and Huawei and Trav, Sterlo, Andrew, Cat, Trash Cat. Who else we got in here? Oh, we've got quite a crowd already, is it?
Got a few people in here.
Always nice. It's getting on up. Right at the top of the list. And anyone else I've missed? Andre. Get Andre. Got Andrew and Andre. Oh, hang on a sec. I have to mute my microphone. That's better. Holy crap. The wind is picking up and it's got nipples in it.
We had wind earlier. Like a thunderstorm rolled through with the wind and the thunder and all that good stuff.
We're back to perfectly clear blue skies again. Yeah, which generally brings the very chilly winds.
Yeah.
A tidbit nipply, that's right, Huawei.
Begging animals. Did you hear that little bark earlier? That was her going from begging me for a piece of chicken to demanding a piece of chicken.
The change in the tone of voice.
Yes.
I gave one of my sisters a mission to find a certain few things in her local supermarket that don't, like the same chain, but my local one doesn't stock a particular few things. So, yeah, so my mum likes, I don't know if you have the French fries chips over there, but they're just little skinny stick crisps, potato chips, whatever you call them. Yeah, the salt and vinegar flavour you can't find everywhere. So my sister found them in her local supermarket, and they're on half price. So she bought 19 packets of them.
Wow.
That should see us through for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And these other little pink icing sticky buns. Yeah, she's bought a whole bunch of packets of them as well because they were on half price special. Straight to the freezer. Good stuff, sister.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I probably I'm quite partial to the salt and vinegar chips as well, so I reckon we'll make short work of those packets.
That's what you need to do when you see something on a really good sale is get a bunch of it.
Yeah.
Throw it in the freezer.
Yeah, well, lucky the chips, they've got pretty much an eternal shelf life.
Yeah.
But yeah, those sticky buns got to be frozen. But they're nice, pull them out an hour before you need them, eat them. They're only small, so they defrost in no time.
GRB, hello.
G'day, GRB. Yeah, Sarah was mentioning possibly having to duck off to the shop, but as she said in her message, she possibly procrastinated going to the shop too much. But we'll see. If she gets here soon, she didn't go to the shop. If she gets here in 20 minutes, she went to the shop. Sticky buns are yummy here. Where's Andrew at? America? Yeah, Andrew's America, isn't he?
Are sticky buns kind of like over there, kind of like cinnamon rolls?
No, they're like a hot dog shaped bun, but yeah, a sweeter bread, I guess. And then sometimes you'll find them with a shit ton of raisins and sultanas through the bread. And then just like a pink icing with sprinkled coconut is the most common way I find them. Finger buns, they're called as well. But yeah, sticky buns, much more fun to say.
The sticky buns here are kind of like cinnamon rolls, except they're usually like they're rolled up like a cinnamon roll, but then the bottom of the pan has like sticky, gooey stuff with pecans and stuff in it.
Interesting. I was expecting a considerable Amazon delivery today too, but they seem to be quite late for how early I normally get stuff delivered. All that, or not all of it, but some of the stuff we bought for the expo display stands and whatnot.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, a different courier company than I usually use too, than they usually use. So maybe a completely different schedule with this new mob. Another deer encounter in West Virginia. Oh, it's gone. West Virginia and Virginia ran out in front 50 yards ahead. Did you get him? Did you get him, Andrew? Meat for months. No, you're not allowed to do that, are you? Can you take roadkill?
Mm-hmm. You can. You've got to let the game warden know that you hit it. In some states you still can't. Yeah. But I know in Wyoming and Montana you can now. Because it was pretty stupid to have to just leave it lying beside the road.
Yeah, I mean, you could use the argument that nature will take care of it and other animals will eat it, but if it's sitting there beside the road, then you're just endangering other animals as well.
Mm-hmm. Doe and fawn. I had a doe, gosh, many years ago outside of Scappoose in Oregon. They can really muck up your car.
Oh, yeah. kangaroos too.
I bet.
Wow.
Oh man. Okay, I'm done eating. My eyes are all blurry tonight.
Yes, Sterlo, that pink icing is way too sweet. I'm not a sticky bun fan myself. I'm not a fan of many icings and frostings. Ganaches. No, ganaches are all right.
Drop my card. Okay, where did that go? Oh, there it is.
G'day, Mike. How's it going?
All things fish. Hello. Okay, I think.
Yeah. If you're talking about those cream buns, GRB, with the cream still like hot dog kind of shape, cream down the middle and then a strip of jam. Yeah, those things go good. I'll have those ones over a sticky bun any day.
Oh, do you have eclairs over there?
Yeah, love an eclair.
Oh, I love eclairs with cream filling. They used to make them really nice and big. When my kids were little, I'd go get a dozen donuts every Sunday, and then I'd get some eclairs, and they'd be pretty big and cream filled, and then they'd have like frosting roses and stuff all over the top of them.
Yeah, right.
And they were so good. Now they just make them, they're like little tiny things with chocolate on top and no frosting fanciness at all, and they aren't as good as they used to be.
Yeah, it's just basically a ball of what do you call it? The pastry, chew pastry. A ball of that with some chocolate on top. You might as well just call it a profiterole.
Yeah.
But yeah, our eclairs have, not only do they have cream in the middle, but they have some custard as well, or creme, creme anglaise. And yeah, chocolate, nice, one of those chocolate sauces on top that's nice and hard.
When
now I want some bloody sweets.
When my dad was young, his first job that he got, because I still remember my uncle told me about this. Him and his best friend got a job. I think they were about 16, and they got a job at a local bakery. And the owner had them open up and start getting stuff ready and everything. And he says, "Now you guys, you can eat anything you want, you know." So they were welcome to have the donuts and stuff. And the first day they got fired. And the reason they got fired is because between the two of them, they ate all the eclairs. So they got fired for it.
I wonder, did they change the wording of how they say that to the new employees now?
Probably.
You may eat one thing. Yeah, I think I've seen a Cinnabon up the Gold Coast too, but yeah, I'm not sure how well they go.
Then he got a job driving truck for a circus.
That was probably more interesting than a donut shop.
Yeah, they wanted him to be on it because my dad used to be, like, when he was young, he was built quite well, and they wanted him to learn the trapeze, but he just kept driving truck. And then when he was in LA, he started driving taxi cab for a while.
Didn't take to the trapeze. Wasn't interested.
He wasn't interested in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ended up being a truck driver. after several things. When I was a baby, he was a cook on a tugboat for a while, and then he went to school to learn how to drive truck, and got a couple jobs driving Jippo truck, and then I got a union job and did pretty well for himself.
What is a Jippo truck?
That's it's slang for somebody that owns their own truck. Andrew might be one, as opposed to like driving for a company and having a union job.
Yeah. So is that what he did in LA for most of his life then, truck driving?
No, he was a taxi driver in LA. By the time he was a truck driver, we were up in Oregon. So yeah. But he drove truck for many, many years. Both my brothers were truck drivers.
Well, it's pretty good money down here. It is if you get the good interstate jobs and
stuff. Yeah. He was working for like Roadway, which was a fairly big company, and I know just like, and this was many, many years ago, probably like it's been at least 21 years ago now since he died, and he was making like $24 an hour driving truck back then, which was pretty damn good wages. Plus the Teamster insurance was pretty damn good at the time too. Teamster's insurance was one of the best insurances out there.
It's funny, I just got this whiff of mandarin that I'm meters from the mandarin tree, and then I look over and a cow 10 meters away from me, 30 feet, chewing on a mandarin, and I could smell it this far away.
Oh, wow. Must be the cool, crisp air.
That's probably got a lot to do with it. Andrew says, I'm a company driver, no union. Our benefits speak for themselves. Owner-operators have drivers in their trucks.
Uh-huh.
What does benefits speak for themselves mean? As in your work perks are all solid and above board, good medical and stuff like that?
Sounds like it, yeah.
It's good when you get a good company that does the right thing by its staff. Instead of shysters.
Oh, so what else is going on?
Not a lot. Fed the old people. They're probably both asleep by now in their food. I had to get up nice and early to be ready for this appointment today, so knackered them out. My dad actually fell asleep at the table during the meeting a couple of times because it was way early for him.
Yeah.
Can't get him up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my older brother and sister are like my half brother and sister. They're both gone now, but they had a different dad than me. And my mom always said that she met my dad when she was working as a waitress in LA, and he was driving taxi, right?
Yeah.
And then my older brother and sister, their dad just kind of disappeared after a while, and he was a drunk and blah, 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 blah. And he just, like, when they were young, he just kind of disappeared. So, years later, when I moved to Wyoming, and my aunt, who was my mom's sister, she came to visit me, and we started talking about it. And she told me, no, that's not what the way things were at all. She said that Mom was working as a waitress in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and she was still married to the other kids' dad. And my dad was stationed at a base right across the border in Colorado, and he met her at the restaurant, and they started messing around. And he ran off with my mom, and then he got caught and had spent some time in the base jail for going AWOL. And then they kicked him out with a dishonorable discharge, and him and my mom ran off to California.
It's almost the stuff of movies.
And the kids' dad always sent her like child support the whole time the other kids were growing up. And my mom, which, you know, she said that he never sent anything, but my mom's first Cadillac was bought with making payments with child support payments that she got every month. So there you go. Sometimes your parents don't always tell you the whole truth. Hey.
Hi, Skunji.
Hi.
So that's a little bit of my background. And then my grandfather, who was my dad's dad, I was just telling him, he was like the youngest of, I think the family had 9 boys and 4 girls, and he was youngest. He was the youngest boy, and he was kind of the black sheep of the family. And when I was a baby, he died, and he was living on Skid Row in Los Angeles, which I don't know if you know about that in Australia or not, but that's like wino row, like alcoholics and winos and people living on the streets. So yeah, I didn't exactly come from royalty, did I? Oh.
I'm also not really from royalty. The name's just like made up, surprisingly. Don't know about you, Mikey.
Royalty?
Yeah, I am.
No, my ancestors were murderers and thieves. That's how we got out here. Huawei says, Blacky, I found your Redbubble merch store. Like I was hiding. Huh?
What have you got on there?
Some old fish tube shirts. I think that, oh yeah, there's your shirts on there, isn't it? Yeah, there's more of your designs on there than my designs. That's right. Crikey.
I don't know, because I have a Redbubble. I started putting some of the stuff up, and we ordered a couple of shirts, and then I abandoned it. And I keep thinking to myself, I should go and pull it down. But I never do, because who's got time for that?
Do you have you checked out a record of when you last sold one? Because surely you've got 2 or 3 on there still.
On Redbubble, there's some stuff, but no, I have not. It doesn't seem to sell anything. Admittedly, lots of it's shitty. Like, it was years ago, and I was just trying to see how I could get stuff up. I mean, I really like the shirts that we got. Still, I wear one of them, and the one that Soren wears, that was your one, is pretty good. And when he wears it, I don't know if I told you, there was a lady at Drawing who he came and was wearing it, and she was like, oh, she got really excited about shirts, and she was saying you have to make shirts. This is kind of before we were making shirts, really, which kind of aren't, but anyway. And I was like, oh yeah, but it's expensive because I have to order whole batches. And she was like, I will be prepared to invest in you getting shirts and stuff, just based on that one shirt from the Redbubble. Of course, I didn't take her up because I feel like that's just, I don't know, it's awkward. I don't know.
And then you're in
It's very kind of her to offer. and to have such faith in me, but I would find it very difficult to accept such an offer. But, you know, it's a good shirt is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, they never really told or anything to other people.
Was Redbubble the one that it was a ship out of Melbourne and out of San Francisco as well or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that they have different places. So depending where you order,
yeah,
it gets done in different places. So like we get them from here, but I think that, yeah, they also have production in other countries and stuff. But I think the main thing with all of those kind of stores, and it's the same with the Threadless, like I don't even think if you search stuff that I will come up on Redbubble or on Threadless. Like they don't advertise you, it's just there. So whatever you push to people, you can sell stuff. And like I've said before with the Threadless one, like you're not making like any money unless you are selling thousands and thousands of shirts, which means probably doing a lot of promo work.
Lots more social media.
Yeah, they have a few things that they use for promotion and promote people, but it's usually people who are already like quite popular and mainstreamy and selling lots of stuff. So it's just the kind of place, like for me, I thought it's really cool to be able to see what stuff looks like on a shirt without having to do a whole production run with a company of getting shirts printed. I can sort of do it. And it's nice because, yeah, say people on here, like, and I'm really grateful if people buy the shirts, but like I get maybe $1 and I have got, in my pocket, I've got $0 from Threadless. Like there is some money in there from shirts that get bought, but it's just not really like a source of income. It's more just like nice because you can buy a shirt with the art, and that's good. I like it. I want to wear them too. So
I would because I went and opened up your Redbubble one. I'd definitely go and have a look at that if I was People's. There's lots of good designs on there.
My one, yeah, but then there's lots of kind of shit stuff as well.
There's stickers, lots of stickers too.
Just like use your like scrutinize what you're looking at, because some of them are just a bit crap on there. It's just like the editing of the images and stuff, and I think it just automatically like ticks all the products, but you would have to go through each product and actually change product placement and stuff. So there's lots of products that don't work and look really crappy on there. Just saying.
Yeah, I remember it being a fair bit of work to go through and deselect all your things in the menu that you didn't want it on.
That's what I've liked with Threadless, is that I can just, it's like, what do you want to put it on? And so I go men's shirt, this one and this one, women's shirt, this one, and then that's it. It doesn't auto fill anything else.
G'day, Coro. $29 kids in their family, Pinchy.
Yeah, it was the Cambergs. They had kids all the way through school, all of them in sets of twins and triplets. And she'd lost a bunch too, so I don't even know how many she'd actually had. But there was 29 living kids. And they were dirt poor. And I remember when I was a kid, we used to go pick strawberries every summer because it was before the child labor laws. And we used to go pick strawberries every summer, and old man Camberg would be out there with a bunch of his kids, and they'd be working hard all day and handing him all the money.
Yeah, I think the world
TV, huh?
The world record is 69, I believe.
Yeah.
For like one lady?
Yeah.
And that was I read about her the other day. She had like, all of hers were like twins and triplets too.
We had a family near here that had, I think, about 70 kids, but it was like one dad, but more than one woman.
Yeah, I think they call that a cult.
But do you know the ones I mean? They all like live near South Golden Beach.
Did they get around in a big bus for a while? Was that
I
that?
don't know. I just knew some of the kids because I went to school with them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I went to school with a bunch of the Cambergs too. But what was really funny was out of 29 kids, there was only one girl, and
Wow.
she was tough. Let me tell you.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not much choice.
No. Right. I tell my kids about that when they complain about having, a brother through the wall in the next bedroom. One brother. Like 27 brothers. I would not.
Yeah, check out the red bubbles as well, Kat, if you're looking. Divine says 32 years old and talking about having a 16th kid. And that lady was having one kid at a time, no twins or triplets.
There was one lady that was famous years ago in England, I believe, and she had like a bunch of kids like that, but she had one set of 6. But her husband had left her, and she just like flat out told everybody that she was making all this money off of welfare and she'd keep having kids, and she was not real popular for it.
Yeah, I know a family that was like that, and I think the girl's pregnant again, and they were famously always talking about how much, because they get a certain amount of money from the government when you have a baby, and then you get your welfare support along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seems
but like, I mean,
really
I don't know what it's like everywhere. Well, that's it, right? Because no matter how much the government will give you is not how much it costs to actually house and feed and raise the kids.
Oh yeah.
How you
Steady
make that.
Nona said to tell you that she's extremely happy, Sarah.
Oh, did she get a package?
Evidently she did. Yeah, she was like really tired and heading for bed, but she said to pass that message on to you.
Oh,
nice.
yay. I'm so glad. Always nice when stuff gets there, and of course, when people are happy, that's all we like. Yay. I'm really glad. Thank you for passing on the message. I'd like to say that I might write her an email or something, but I know myself, and it's the thought that counts, right?
Nicely.
It's so hard because as I I used to really hide from the fact of it, and now I'm trying to be straightforward, but it still makes me feel really guilty. But I mean to. I really want to be good and better at it. But I have this skill of I can even read a message. Oh my god, on here I got a message and my phone automatically opened it up, and I had a little panic attack on stream because it was a family friend messaging me about something. And I was like, right, so I have to message her back straight away. And I tried, and I think if I go to the message, there's a half composed message there. I still haven't actually replied to her.
Oh no.
I mean to, and I love her, and she's family. There's no reason. I really want to reply to the message. I don't know what happens with my brain. And I'll write part of the message, and then it's something will distract me, and I will put it down, and I'll go. And sometimes when I do that, I think to myself, I have replied, and then I only realize a couple of months later, I did not reply at all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to overcome it. But just so you know, if you ever send me something and I don't reply, it's not because I don't love you. Not because I don't want to do it. It's just maybe there's a half-written message there waiting for you. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember what's in there, Kat. Kat says great designs in Redbubble.
You ought to put some of your drawings on shirts, Blacky. Put them over there.
What we should do is like get in some of your drawings and make like some all over print stuff. So just like blend one to the next one until all it is just covered.
That's probably quite expensive.
Well, it depends what you want to do with it. I was trying to remember because I've seen some place like the Threadless and Redbubble where you can get pre-printed stuff that does an all-over print, and I'm not sure where it is. It might even be Redbubble. But the other thing that you can do, which I've done, I did some, but like ages ago. Now there are way more companies that do it, but at the time this was like the only company I knew of, and they're called Spoonflower, and you can upload your own designs and get like fabric, all different range of fabrics by the meter printed, and it's not that expensive. Like it's very, very cool to design your own fabric and then order it and then make something with your own fabric design. Very cool. And people who are good at it have stores and stuff.
I looked at a YouTube video the other day of a guy teaching you how to make like a continuous pattern so you can tile them out.
Hi, DJ.
I think that looked a little bit beyond my skill ability. Mine would have to be random tiles of nonsense. G'day, TJ.
Well, we can do it so that they blend.
Yeah, true.
I mean, yeah, my computer's shit.
The Process of Thought by Scunch Princess on my Redbubble was hidden for mature content.
Wow. What even is that? Is that a name that you made up for something?
It's the one where it's got like an arm out like this and it's got two boobs hanging down from the arm.
Oh, I have that picture, I think, on my wall somewhere.
Sounds like my delivery's here now.
Hang on, I'm going to have a see. I think I know the one.
I'm sure it was just some temporary name. We were never much with the naming of things. I'm surprised.
So I've got a card here. If anybody is interested in bidding on it.
Hey man, how are you? Yeah.
It is female golden eyes. And then I've also got a baby fox kit. And it looks like I got deserted. Everybody left.
It's a fair pile of boxes. These little cuties.
Oh, a bunch of little easels.
Yeah, the size of my hand. That's it. That's the one.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I don't know where you came up with the name from.
Me?
Because I think I was getting you to name them when I was putting them up on my Redbubble. I wouldn't come up with a name like that.
Well, the thing is, I am also not real. I'm not very namey.
Your other one on there is Mosquito Fant. Yeah, I thought I had quite a few of your designs on there, but there's only 2 of your designs on my Redbubble.
I remember that one, but I think that you might have come up with the mosquito fan as well. But like Monica Lynn bought that picture, didn't she? And then you were like really liked it and put it up on your Redbubble. Quite a few years ago. I vaguely remember.
You remember more than I do about it. It sounds.
Yeah, well,
Especially the who bought it bit. Do I bust out some of these other things? Let's see what else I got. I don't think it's all of the order yet.
I don't even know or remember. I was having anxiety when you were ordering the stuff and like asking me what we need, and I was like panicking.
Pardon me. Yeah. Black paper bags with recyclable for birthday.
Oh, we like with recyclable for birthday.
There is a
but also
couple of dots in between a couple of the words, but it sounds funnier when read the way I said. I don't think I need to get bags out. They should be kept in the plastic.
Yeah,
so they
probably.
stay fresh.
Probably. I have a thermostat on my Redbubble. I don't know what that means. Okay. Thermostat, no, like a thermometer.
Telling you how hot an item is.
So what's hot? An item that I have, I don't know. I may have put some of the ones with boobs in the mature. Ask you, is it suitable for children? And like, I mean, quite frankly, I wouldn't hide that from my children. I hang it on my wall, but like maybe some people don't want their kids to look at circles with circles on them and stuff like. Actually, I saw a really funny ad. It was for a bra, and they were showing the lady like trying it on. But what they gotten is they got like, for modesty,
oh no,
kind of like socks over her boobs first. So she had these like weird pink socks over her boobs that she was then like showing how she could put the bra on. And yeah. And I looked at the comments because heaps of people were like so confused. What are do we have to wear those socks to try on the bra? And people going, it's because you can't show human breasts. But yeah, the thing is that it's just so ridiculous. I just feel like it's worse. I would rather my kids just see boobs in the world and like whatever and care because boobs exist. Like just even my kids, that's fine. I've taken my kids, I go to life drawing and I've taken my kids from when they were really young up until now. I'll still take my 14-year-old son. And the thing is, what I've noticed is that when they're around where people will just like get changed or you can go swimming, it doesn't like matter if you have got a top on or you go to life drawing and stuff, they become a lot more like, it's not like this illicit thing that you never see, and it's just like normal. And if they see someone with their top off, they're not like they're just like whatever. That's like really normal. And I think that that's like better than weird little pink socks on your boobs and
Yeah,
it just
doesn't
kind
that,
of seems really weird.
yeah, clearly it poses more questions to the people out there of simple mind.
Right.
I think I might have to accept this 6-foot fish tank. It's getting pressured upon me again. Be a good place to breed my mosquitoes in.
So you're having a new fish tank pressed upon you. Does it have like stands and stuff?
Yeah, it's Kalen's big 6-foot one that he's been trying to get me to take out of his garage for quite a while now. But yeah, I think I'll just put it straight over there where the stacks of chairs are. Just
what are you going to put in it?
No fish, probably, because it won't be in a place where I can power it unless I just put like a solar pump or something on it or run a cord over the roof. But yeah,
You do got plants in there.
Yeah, that's what I was. My plan is just to do like put pot plants and stuff in there and not necessarily worry about water just yet. Maybe in the future when I can work out a better spot to put it in, but it'll just be a temporary location, maybe just with plants in, I reckon.
I know you've tried before, but growing some lotus would be really cool. Just because they're beautiful.
Yeah, well, they don't need moving water either. And then there's potential for, like I said, breeding mosquitoes, which we love.
Yeah, but you could put some guys in there who don't. I guess if you've got no filtration, that's going to be an issue, isn't it?
No,
There's
not
going to
really.
be guys who don't need like, heating and stuff like that. But, well, do the plants offer some filtration?
Most
because
definitely.
if you have a natural pool, then putting a whole bunch of plants in there is cleaning your water. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the plants consume nitrates and ammonias and all that nonsense. It's food for them.
The only question I have is it like deep enough in a tank to grow the lotuses? Because, in the wild, they have, or everywhere that I've seen them growing naturally, there's a lot of space for the roots and a lot of like muck at the bottom and stuff like that I would be concerned in a tank environment. You've only got like this little.
It might be a good opportunity for a soil substrate to grow lilies.
That'll be fun.
I don't dislike this idea because then you can always have the blue lotus tea every Saturday morning or something nice like that.
You can. Also, you can smoke it. So what Theo has been doing is he harvests it from the dam and then he dehydrates it and smokes it.
Nice. I'd like to try that.
Yeah, well, it is quite nice. He gave me a couple of flowers to smoke, and yeah, it's nice. It's nice and gentle, and yeah, it can mix with stuff, and it sort of softens it out, and yeah. And it's
apparently,
nice.
the Indigenous Australian women used to use it as a sedative during childbirth.
Okay.
It was one of its popular uses with our Indigenous peoples.
What I also love and kind of wish I had known a bit more about before I started having kids is that, they use water for birthing, and that just makes so much sense. There's so much I wish I knew before. I was quite young when I had my first child. So it was only after he was born that I realized. And when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, I just don't want to think about birth because I was pretty young. And it just it scared me, so I didn't think about it. And then after going through the birthing process, which was really, really horrible and a really bad experience, I was like, wow, I wish I had actually researched things and known some stuff, because I think I would have liked to do things a bit differently to how they went.
G'day, Vic. Yeah, when the development application was going in for this place over the back, I learnt from one of the spokespeople for the traditional owners of this land that this whole area back here is apparently sacred women's land, where women would come where men would go off and do their corroborees and whatnot and walkabouts, and then the women would do their walkabouts to their sacred spots. And yeah, apparently the creeks around here behind me were used for their traditional water births and whatnot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, that's so. Out at Wanganui, that's also women's land out there. And one of my favourite places to go swimming was traditional birthing spot.
The one with the holes in the rock?
No, that's Acorn Brook. No,
that's
kind of where Amanda and Luca. And it's just such a good spot. And I tell you what, having been there and been in the waters, I would like to have my babies there. It is very strong and spiritual place to be at any time, and I have always felt really embraced by it. Yeah, it's probably like that spot would be my like the top of the list of places that are really connected and spiritual, and that I would really like to be, just even, just to go and be. It's beautiful.
Yes, lots of beautiful spots in there. But it's rare when you get one that takes the cake like that.
It definitely takes all the cake.
Divine says, Blacky, why not go hydroponic grow? What would I grow hydroponically, Divine?
What would be awesome is if you grew some greens. I wanted you to do the aquaponics, please, and grow like all the spinach and kale and greens, and have some fish and all your plants. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that's well within my budget. I would have done that 3 years ago when I was on my massive aquaponics binge. If I had the money to start getting those big tanks, vats, whatever you call them.
I just think that would be really awesome. I had some friends also from at Wanganui, and it was a cover, but they grew like loads of greens out on trays hydroponically, so it wasn't like inside, but it was all in water, and their greens were the best.
I've been tempted to do one of those PVC setups where you just link all your pipes in big framework and have slots in the top to grow your stuff out of, because they take up very little space and can be controlled water flow with not a very big pump.
Ultimately, I just think it would be really cool to work out what works, to do some brainstorming, so that ultimately, because I don't know, for me, what I reckon the ultimate goal is to be producing as much of your own food at home as possible. I mean,
Wollongong, favourite town in name in Australia, says GRB.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, hey?
So that delivery was just the 10 mini easels and then 4 big boxes of paper bags.
Paper bags are great. These paper bags are going to be really good.
I may have to find somewhere to store them for the meantime because they can't stay there. They'll get dripped on in the mornings.
If there's an issue, I have got a spare room in my house.
Well, yeah, I basically meant until you come and pick them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shame because I have to drive past your old place of work, and I had such a wonderful, fun plan planned, and now I can't get to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't freaking believe it. Nah.
It was going to be the funnest.
I would have liked that. As it is, I just hope that at the moment I'm just trying to be like, it's what it is, and everything will work out. The universe has a plan. I just got to go along with it. But yeah.
I think that's the best way to approach it right now.
Well, that nothing else than that is not gonna help to be stressed.
Divine, are you talking about my PVC pipe situation that I was talking about? You can keep talking now. It'll take him at least 10 or 15 seconds before that reply shows up.
Okay, well, one, I was going to say that even though I really like Wollongong, I actually think that Burpengary is a better place name. And
yeah, I like Burpengary.
It's just quiet here in Mercy, isn't it? And then with the pipes, I wanted to do pipes with holes and strawberries and have strawberry stacks. Oh, look, Pam, that's pretty choice.
Yeah, it's some female goldeneye ducks.
And I believe Pam's offering that up for sale if anyone's interested.
Yeah. With opening bid of just $20. And then I've also got the baby fox in the cards. And then I've got the 2 bigger drawings that are not going to be available too much longer. If they don't sell, I'll do something else with them.
Actually.
Yeah, I like those PVC ideas, Divine, because you can basically just hang them on a wall and they take up no floor space at all. And TJ, is Blacky running the auction again tonight? Yes, as you can see by how terribly it's being run. He also said a friend of mine crossed a zucchini with a yellow squash successfully. I didn't know you could do that yourself. I thought you'd need a lab for that. You pretty much just need a cotton bud. And depends how frisky you get when getting involved in other people's sexual situation, but you go and you take your male goodies off the flower and go and put it on the female goodies on a different flower.
Like some things go easier than others. Like there are lots of plants that if you even have them near each other, just your pollinators will do that job for you. And so if you were hoping that your seeds from your, yellow capsicum were going to be yellow capsicum seeds, unfortunately, if you also had a, let's just say red capsicum, but anything in that family nearby, your seeds are probably going to be a cross. So some are that simple that it's like you just need to actually be careful if you're wanting to get seeds to not grow anything nearby. And then other things, it's a simple fix, but other things you can't cross without more help. So it's just like dependent on the plant, isn't it?
Yeah.
I specifically said capsicums, because capsicums and chilies, and that's something it was a long time ago now. but I was trying to get seeds from and it was like you have to like isolate the whole plant when it's flowering. You can't. And then you have to self-pollinate, because if you let any bugs come, you won't get a pure seed. There's a long time for it.
Okay, we've got the elk butt that is a 8x10 and framed to matted to an 11x14, so you can just drop it in an 11x14 frame. Ready to go. The famous elk butt, the early wine elk butt.
And that background, it's a beautiful picture, Pam.
Yeah, I love the definite break in focus between the foreground and the background.
And I've also got the young bighorn sheep that is a 5x7. I haven't matted it yet, but when I do, I'll mat it to like a 8x10. And this bighorn, the two cards that I showed, the opening bid is $20, and for this 5x7, opening bid is $50. And for the elk opening bid, I don't know, it needs to be like probably at least like $80.
Yeah, it's pretty magical.
So that's what I've got right now. And I know Sarah's got some stuff too.
I've got stuff. If there's anyone around who's thinking, oh, I want to see, then say so. Otherwise, I won't. But if people want to see stuff, even if you just want to see it and you don't want to buy it, it's okay. I'll flash it all up because I've got stuff. But yeah. Otherwise, I feel like maybe I've probably like already shown everything.
I don't think people get sick of looking at pictures.
Yeah.
I was thinking I've got a loose enough shirt that I could flash. And then I was thinking, well, that'd scare people as old as I am. And then I was thinking, well, I would have to like totally move the camera because I'm not wearing a bra. So you'd have to like have shots of my down to my knees to see anything anyway. Oh, okay. We'll just bypass everything I just said and pretend I didn't say it.
We'll edit that out in post.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. GRB's on it. Other funny Australian town names. Humpy Bong, Boing Boing, Quality Knob, What a Nobby, Nowhere Else. Interesting one. Fanny Bay, Useless Loop, Bullshit Hill, Pisspot Creek, The End of the World. And
there's a creek in Washington called Shit Creek.
Knob is pretty good. What? Sorry. Please say again.
Pam said there's a creek called Shit Creek over there.
Yeah.
Is it like the show? Do they spell it SCHITT? Or Shits?
No, actually, on the maps, it's just S period Creek. You know damn good and well what it is. You know.
It must be just spelled SHIT if even the maps are censoring it.
Yeah.
Let's just have a quick look, because Divine's still talking about cups and plates. Did you do any on Redbubble?
Maybe, but those, I just feel like because a bunch of the designs were from photos that I'd taken
on something, TJ.
And it had all the paper background, and they just didn't like. I've gotten since better at getting rid of the background, but even some of the ones, because the problem is I don't have a computer, so I have to do all the editing on my phone, which means I can't always see the quality of my work, as well as if I have actually on Photoshop and on my computer, I can see and do a lot more stuff. So I'm really limited with my phone. But even that, over time, I've gotten...
Casual Aquatics, hello.
Well, I can tell you there's no mugs on Scunch Princess's Redbubble, but on my Redbubble there's 2 Scunch Princess pictures on mugs.
And I mean, I can potentially...
But yeah, the ones on mine that are on mugs of your artwork, it's only
anytime, TJ. We're watching.
It's only a select portion of the artwork that's made it onto the mug, sort of thing. So it's not the whole picture.
But let me warn you, TJ, don't put a bid out unless you're willing to buy, because I don't think there's a lot of people that are like wanting to buy right now. So if you throw out a bid, you might get stuck with it. That's all I'm saying.
G'day, Casual.
I'm going to make myself another cuppa and go the loop. I'll be back in 1 sec.
Rightio.
Rightio.
You need to like take a class, Blacky, and learn to do that auction thing, where that auctioneers do with the real fast talking. I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Gibberish.
Yeah.
I'm fairly fluent in gibberish. People have witnessed it before. G'day,
Bunny
Bunny.
Viper. Hello, Bunny. So I'll run through my stuff again really quick because I don't have a lot sitting in front of me right now. I have got some female golden eyes, which is kind of dark in here, but let me see if I can lighten up a little bit. There we go.
Opening price of $20 if you're interested.
Yep, opening price of $20. And then I have a fox kit, a young baby fox, red fox.
Baby.
And that's an opening bid of $20. And then I have a 5x7 drawing of a young bighorn with the opening bid of $50. And then I have the ever so famous 8x10 drawing, colored pencil on handmade board paper of the elk butt.
Now, what you're going to have to do is blow yourself up and go through them all again.
Oh, dear. No. No.
By request of Kat. Unless Kat was.
But what I can do is I can show them, except for the golden eye ducks. I don't have a photograph of them yet, but I can show the photographs. And I can't find what I did with the bighorn. I stuck it in a file, and I don't know what file I put it in.
What size did you say the elk is?
The elk is an 8x10 and matted to an 11x14. And this is, I have a picture of the little fox here. And the fox is a ACEO card, so it's like 2.5 by 3.5, and in a hard plastic sleeve for protection. And I'll see if I can find the elk. I know I've got the elk somewhere. Although I never could get a really good photograph of the elk. The photograph I got looks scratchy, and it doesn't in real life. It doesn't look scratchy, but what can you say? Okay.
Yeah, I suppose it's
under drawings.
a little bit more difficult with the bigger pictures to get the right distance away from it and the right lighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably one thing to try when you're photographing your artwork is like 3 sources of light, or at least 2.
I don't know. I just know sometimes I can get a good photograph, and sometimes it's really hard. The elk was really tough because, like I say, in the photograph, the background and stuff looks scratchy from the drawing, but it in real life it really doesn't. It's a lot smoother looking in real life. See all the scratchy marks that it looks like in the photograph, but in real life it doesn't really look like that. It looks a lot smoother. But anyway, yeah, that's elk.
Yeah, Huawei says it's the picture on your link tree.
Yep, it is.
I just opened it up, and yes, I can see what you mean.
The elk butt.
It's almost like you've got too much light in that one. The photo, not the picture itself. Bunny, of course, I think there would be no issue whatsoever with that. I'm fairly certain. Yeah, last time you paid exactly on the day.
Oh, look, PJ says I have a beautiful rack. Oh, no, she was talking about the elk.
Tasty.
Okay, so here is, this is the, oops, that's the back of the bighorn. This is a 5x7 drawing of a young bighorn. An opening bid on him is $50. And then I've got the elk butt opening bid, $80 or 85. Let's make it 85 because it's an 8x10 drawing. And then we've got the ACEL card of the Fox kit. And I've got an ACEO card of some female goldeneye ducks.
Not to be confused with the James Bond movie.
And that's what I'm trying to sell right now. Yes, you should always be thankful, TJ, that you have been spared that sight.
Now that you've returned, Scungy, I've already spoken on your behalf about one particular thing, but do you want to show your Pikachus again?
Okay. I can show them. And also, by the way, I'm mostly just showing the range of small stuff because that's what's easy posting, right?
TJ says, I'll open for the elk. I'll start $100.
Oh, absolutely awesome. You will like it. So we got $100 bid, and we'll give it a little bit of time if anybody else wants to bid on the elk. It's hard, like I say, it was one of those where it's hard to get a good photograph of it, but when you see it in person, you're really going to like it.
I just think it looks beautiful in the way that we can see it now. And I know the difference between what I can see on the screen and what's there. So I just...
Yeah, I reckon it actually looks better when you're holding it up in front of the camera in that plastic than it does in that picture. The picture does it no justice.
Yeah, the picture really doesn't. Those guys are awesome. I love those guys. And see the little skulls on top of the skull of the horsey guy?
Heck, got him.
Yeah, he's overdue, Trash Cat, that's for sure. He's such good fun, that guy.
Yeah.
Bear Cali Ho. I
G'day,
don't think
Bear.
I've seen you before, but Hi there. We're showing art right now. If you like art, Sarah's got some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful art. And you are more than most of it. You can put in an opening bid of like $20 plus shipping. So if you see something that you just really, really, really want, throw out a bid.
What you really, really want. People are asking for your how much is scungy. Do you have different openings for different sizes?
No, I think that I think it's just go nuts, whatever, right? Because these are all small, and because at the moment I'm not putting them up anywhere. There are a lot of pictures though.
Have we got the one in your left hand on a shirt yet? That needs to go on a shirt too, I think.
Bunny Viper says, how much are these pieces, Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah just
yeah, how much do you want them for? Is more the question. Do you mean this one, Mikey?
No, that's your right hand, love.
It is, I know. I just was confused because like.
Yeah, I think that would just bang on a bright pink or a white shirt or something. Not that I'm a guy.
Something I've been doing my black ink drawings and reversing them and putting them in white on the shirts, and I haven't got any shirts on light shirts, which is something I probably need to look at doing. It's just that.
Oh, that's good, Divine. I misread it at first, Divine. I was about ready to yell at you because I thought it said, I just wanted you to know that you make my shit go faster. This is live stream. And I was like, what? And then I saw you said shift, so I was like, okay. I can't believe that guy with the horns and the little tree in the background hasn't gone yet because I love that guy.
He's been around for a while, hasn't he? And
yeah.
You could probably learn a thing or two from Bob about how to draw trees, though.
Yeah, right. I do like these little teeth, though. I guess it's hard to see them. And then I've got the ones on the paint swatches.
Nice. Are they both the same colour? No, they're not.
They are different colours. Apparently, black ace, ace of spades.
Yeah.
But what's really funny, because I got my son to pick me up a bunch the other day. Now, of course, I can't find them. Bloody hell!
Was just while you're looking, was the black ace and ace of spades, are they by the same company?
Yes.
Crikey.
They are. Ace of spades is slightly grayer than the black ace. But yeah, so my son picked me up and I said, I just want you to get me black ones. I don't have them. It'll probably be okay. They're here somewhere. I'm pretty sure I didn't even take them anywhere from here. Anyway, so I was like, but I wanted him to get black ones on the squares and on the rectangles, which while we're at it, I'll flash a couple.
Nice.
And so he did, and I had them here. And then my middle son came in and made a bit of a joke about them because one of the colors is called all black. And he was laughing about how they're all black, but they're not all black. But they're, right? Because some of them are called all black, and all of the colors are truly black. But
I wonder would he laugh if he watched the New Zealand rugby union team play?
I mean, they're not that funny, are they? Probably not.
That one looks like a evil demon that set fire to a house behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I really, really like this color.
A grasshopper alien. That's what he is. He's a grasshopper alien. Is it like metallic looking? Because it looks almost like he's like gold metallic.
So it's supposed to be. Well, yeah. So the character is in gold and in metallic for sure. Yeah. The bottom section is black, and the top, it claims to be. Well, it's a fluorescent red, actually. But, like, it looks very different in person, actually.
It's like your version of that meme from the early 2000s of that little nasty-looking girl in front of the burning house.
Yeah. Yep. I've seen that girl with the evil smile on her face.
Yeah.
Where you know by looking at her that she started that fire.
Yeah.
That's crazy. She's in her 20s now, that kid.
Yeah, well, that's what I didn't know the meme so much, but I saw an article with the girl.
All these kiddies that turn up in memes as little kids, and they're gonna, they're gonna be able to go on speaking tours when they're adults and let their meme carry them through the rest of their life. Oh, purple people eater. Gross. I had to sing that song in a school musical in year 6 and I messed it up big time.
Oh, I remember that song. Yeah.
Quick flash.
That's what the only time I heard my son complain about his name, my son Tucker, was when he told me at school they started doing that song. Bob, Bo Bob, Banana Nana, Bo Fob, whatever, however it went. But when they did Tucker's name, the teacher stopped him. She said, time to do something else now.
Don't want the little kids doing Freudian slips, do we?
Would have been fun though.
I still remember my mom having a fit when I named Tucker, and she says, "You know what they're going to call him in school?" And I'm like, looking at her, and my older sister's name was Tampa Rosette. Now, yeah, you know what she got called in school?
Yeah. But see, it's funny because everyone says my eldest son's name is Teo, and this might not mean it much to American people actually, but my mum was like, "You can't call him Teo. Everyone's gonna call him Soggy Sayo." I was like, "That's Sayo is like a kind of cracker," and there's also a particular joke we have about the Soggy Sayo. But do you know what? No one's ever called him that.
Yeah. Well, then when I named my second daughter Courtney, my mom had a fit about her name too. She said that was a boy's name. And I beg to differ. I mean, I suppose it could be a boy's name, but I always liked her name, and I always called her Corky when she was growing up.
Yeah, that's one of those good androgynous names that fits both boy or girl.
Yeah. So, and my mom was just having a fit when I named her that, and I liked it, and I still like it. I still like her name.
Absolutely. And I think that even more and more, it's become a much more, like, there's a lot more people in the limelight and stuff who are feminine and have it as a feminine name, I
Yeah.
think it.
Bunny Viper asks if we can see the first few again, please, Sarah. And Huawei says, are those ones you said are on the paint swatches that look like they should be a set? Might get you to proof that question, Huawei, and maybe retype it in a way that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And yes, Limp Biscuit is a similar concept to the Soggy Sayo. There's a game involved that leads up to the Soggy Sayo. I'm not sure if the Limp Biscuit has the same game or a similar game leading up to it.
Seems likely. But like, I even think that these days, if I said to any of the kids, I don't even think they'd know what that meant. And so I've just turned my pile upside down, and I'm just starting again because I don't know which ones are which.
So go slow so that if she wants to bid on one, we don't have too many piled up.
Yeah, it also gets a little bit confusing with directions.
Yeah.
That one with the thingy over the what's it?
Yeah. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yes, Huawei. It involves that.
And like get close up, but it doesn't seem to make anything any clearer.
TJ says lost sound, but his avatar has also changed. Maybe that YouTube is on mute, TJ, but he can't hear me say that anyway, can he? What am I wasting my breath for? Cute. He's so cute, that dude. I can't tell if he's welling up with tears or if he's just got those big cutie eyes.
I also think he's cute. I put him on a card, and I'm looking forward to getting those. Like, I'm like hanging out for them every day. But yeah, there's a guy who reminds me of him a little bit that is going off to cat, but I won't hold those guys up because they're gone.
So deceptive, the size on that guy.
How so? This guy?
Yeah, and like it looks like a big picture because of the scale, I guess. All the detail not in it.
But it is only a very little picture. But yeah, I'm pretty sure all these ones that I've been showing, they're all ones that can post in the untracked cheap postage. I'm trying to stick to showing stuff that's small enough.
Bunny Viper says $20 on blue unicorn. Unicorn in quotes.
That the guy with the garden on his head? Yeah.
This is where the interpretation comes in. Oh yeah, that's Pam did refer to it as horse-like before, and that makes sense that that's a unicorn because it's got a horn.
I can see it.
A unicorn with skulls coming out of a hole in its head.
Yeah.
$20 on that one from
I
Money
do
Viper.
really like this one.
So put that one off the side and we'll leave it sit for a minute and then we'll come back and see if anybody else wants to bid on it. And I'll hold my elk up again too and see if we need any more bids on it.
But you've got to take me off the big screen to do that.
Oh, okay.
Bunny was also asking before if she could defer payment until the 3rd again, and I did agree and say that will be no problem.
Yeah. Always, that's always fine. It's just like communication. If someone's like, oh, it's not until whenever, I'm good with that.
Okay, and then we have a $100 bid on this elk butt. If anybody else wants to bid on it,
that's going to be really nice to see him go to a home finally.
Yeah.
Why not? Deserves a good.
You see how in person the sky doesn't look so scratchy. So it's going to look really nice when you slap it in a frame.
Yeah, it will be beautiful in a frame.
And it's a 8x10 drawing with matted to go into an 11x14 ready-made frame. And we have $100 bid on it. If anybody else wants to bid on it, that's where we're at with that one.
What's when you've got to ship something like that in the States, how much does it cost you to ship a big guy like that?
About $10 to $12.
Jesus, it's good.
Yeah. Our price is not so cheap.
There's a bizarre beeping sound. I have to go and investigate.
He's got a unicorn outside.
Yeah.
It's making beeping sounds. All of you from Australia? No, not everybody. Of course, Blacky and Scungy are from Australia. I am from Wyoming. And in the chat, we've got, let's see, I don't know where everybody's from. Kat McKenzie is from Canada, A. Grasshopper, or why are we always yelling? He's from California. Bunny Viper, I'm not sure about. Mark Sturlson is from Australia. So yeah, we kind of represent every place in the world.
When you said from Canada, is that because there's a thing because the reason I asked is that so at the top of Australia there is a city called Darwin, and the people from Darwin tend to say A after things that they say. And I remember
that's what people from Canada do too. Kat doesn't, because I've talked to her like with voice, and she doesn't. But I have met a lot of people from Canada that say A after everything. Every sentence is followed by A.
It's kind of funny because Canada's at the top, and that's what they say, and like it's truly a thing.
You know how how Canada was named? Oh, there was some guys sitting around, and they decided, hey, we need to come up with a name for our country. And the other guy says, well, we'll put a bunch of letters in the hat and draw them out. So they decided that one guy would draw out the letters and the other one would read them off and write them down, until they came up with a name. So the first guy, he goes and he reads to draw out a letter and he says, C-A? Then he reaches and pulls another letter out, N-A? And that's how Canada got its name.
There you go. I'm
sorry, I know that was bad, guys. What can I say?
I just think it's funny that that's the thing for Canada, but it's definitely, I mean, I don't know. I just have a few friends from Darwin, and that's definitely a Darwin thing as well.
It's North Queensland as well.
Is that?
Very, 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 very prevalent in North Queensland.
Okay, so I don't really have anyone from there.
Yeah, it's very, very prevalent in Canada too.
Yeah, well, and also in your
Sorry.
Dakota, and what's that other one up there that they say a? Where's bloody? What's the movie? Fargo. Where's Fargo? Minnesota.
Oh, North Dakota.
Oh,
North Dakota.
Yeah, but aren't Minnesota people? They say a lot
Minnesota,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
You heard about Olaf? He's from Minnesota, and he was out on a fishing boat with his best friend Schwinn. And I can't do the accent very well, or this would be really funny. But they're out fishing, and Schwinn, he goes to light a cigarette, and his lighter won't work. So he says, "Hey, Olaf," he says, "You got the lighter?" And Olaf says, "Sure." And he reaches underneath his seat, and he pulls out this lighter that's like that long. And Schwinn says, "Jesus Christ, Olaf," he says, "where did you get a lighter like that?" And Olaf kind of looks at him and he says, "Well," he says, "don't tell anybody," but he says, "I have a genie in my tackle box." And Schwinn, he says, "Well," he says, does he give wishes?" And Olaf says, "Yes, yeah. And he says, "Well, can I do one?" And Olaf says, "Yeah," but he says, "You only get one. So think about it and tell me when you're ready." So Schwinn, he thinks about it for a while and he says, Okay, I'm ready." So Olaf, he reaches underneath the seat and he pulls out the tackle box and he opens it up, and sure enough, there's this big cloud of smoke, and this genie comes out, and he's like looking down up at him with his arms crossed, and he looks at Schwinn and he says, "What's your wish?" And Schwinn looks at him, he says, "I want $1 million." And the genie just kind of shakes his head, and then he goes, whiff of smoke, and backtracks and goes into the tackle box, and Olaf, he shuts the lid, and they're sitting there, and pretty soon they hear this noise, and they start looking around, and there's ducks coming in from everywhere, landing on the water, on the side of the boat. There's just ducks everywhere. And Schwinn, he's sitting there, and he's kind of looking pissed off, and he says, "Olaf," he says, "why didn't you tell me that your genie was hard of hearing?" And Olaf looks at him and he says, "Did you really think that I wished for a 12-inch Bic?" So, yeah. Sorry.
You're a big lighter too.
Sorry, everybody in the chat. Sorry.
I've got a big Bic too.
Mm-hmm.
Fun stuff. All right, so how do we go with those prices?
So we're at $100 for the elk. Bunny Viper says she's so offended right now. I'm sorry.
$100 for the elk and $20 it was, wasn't it, for the
Yep, $20 for the unicorn.
And a couple of extra dolls on top for some shippage. Oh, my appendix just exploded.
Mama.
Ouch.
You're right.
Yeah, it hurts a bit. Is that true, Huawei? Or are you messing with me?
What's true?
He says if I take this apart, I'll find a smaller bick inside of it. Oh.
I mean, I don't think so.
I'll wait until its gas runs out.
Cat and Bunny want to see Sarah's work again.
Oh, more down. Okay, so hang on. I've got to work out because I've got my piles, but since I took one out, okay, I can start again from the pile where I left off. If you like, if you want us. I actually really like the lines in that row.
You betcha, Travis.
What's
And the thing about Minnesota too is they've got that squat down pat, you know, where you squat, the guys squat to talk to each other.
Is after have to or after? And ope. What's ope? Ope so?
I don't know what any of this means.
Travis says he's from Minnesota, and he says they don't do A as much, but they've got a few other ones that they do.
You know what? I actually don't even know where Minnesota is. Actually, wait, I do. I'm pretty sure it's in the USA.
Yes, it is.
Full marks.
Right? And yeah, I don't have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, I hope you don't think I was poking fun either, Travis. I actually really love the Minnesota and Dakota accents. I think they're the best.
Are they like kind of bred from some kind of European accent? Because
It's hard to explain. When was the last time you saw Fargo?
I watched the first season of a Fargo TV series. Is that what you mean?
Or the movie? Or the other series?
I don't think I've seen a movie, and I'm pretty sure when I watched the first episode of the second series, because I watched the first series and the second series is like a completely different story. And so I just watched like the start of one episode and I was like, oh no, this isn't what I was watching, and I didn't keep watching it. It might have been great. Just at the time, I suppose there was a lot of stuff. But no, I think I only watched, I'm pretty sure I only watched a TV series of it.
I find it really, really hard to believe that you haven't seen the movie. It's one of my favourite movies of all time.
Oh, wow. Well, then I should definitely have a watch.
And yeah, the TV.
Always looking for something to watch. It was a long time ago when I watched that TV series, but as I recall, it was really good.
All three seasons of Fargo are very good viewing, and it is an anthology series, so each season deals with a different criminal undertaking.
So that's those guys, and then I've got the swatchy guys. I'm also not showing my one that I've decided I'm going to keep. It'll just be a tease.
There's the Wendigo.
And so, like, hang on, this one, that's like gold paint. That's not metallic, is just fluorescent-y pink.
I think Bunny's interested in one from the first few you showed.
Yeah, the one that she bid on is the unicorn.
Oh, is that
one
what
with the skulls coming out of its head? That one there, yeah.
I thought she must have had another one she was interested in.
Alright, I can go back and hang on. I just pop this swatchy guys to the side. So these were the first couple that I held up. I'm trying to keep them in the same order so I can always come back so that there's an order to things. Those guys. And then turn the pile over.
She says, and that one. So
Yes.
go back one, I think.
Okay.
Because of the time lapse. That one there, honey? Is that the other one you want to bid on? She says $20 each. So is it that one or the one before that one? Let's give her a minute.
Yeah,
she says yes. She says yes. So $20 on that one too.
Thank you. And let me just the one before that. This guy.
She says that one that you just had up, and then the unicorn one.
Okay.
So hold up the two of them together and double check and make sure we get a yes on it.
Yeah.
So those are the two that you want for $20 a piece, right? Right, Bunny?
Yes.
Yes.
And there was another, she says.
Okay. Let's have a look. Before, I'm going to guess I don't go into the other pile because that was not after. We have this one.
So go slow so she has time to throw out a quick that one.
Yes. Does that mean that one? It is Bunny. Yeah, I went to the YouTube chat so I could see quicker.
Nice.
Give us another yes for that one, Bunny. Keep it up. Don't show anything else until we get a yes or a no. Yes, those three, says Bunny.
Nice. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I mean, this guy is especially adorable, right? I'd also like to put to anyone who's buying things, so that will be Kat, if she's here, because she got something from yesterday, and for Bunny from today, and what else? What I just wanted to confirm is I have coming at either the end of this week or the very beginning of next week new cards and new stickers. And I can hold off posting until I get those so I can send with those new things. Otherwise, I'll still send them off before the end of the week with the stuff that I've already got. But I just want to put it out there that, you know, if you're happy to let it go a few days and you're interested in, you know, something new that's coming along, I can do that.
Bunny says that would be great. I'll wait for new cards.
Okay. I'm excited to see what comes. But I have like new stickers and new cards for stuff to go in, and I've got little thank you cards and stuff. So it'll be exciting to send stuff off with some of the new bits and pieces.
Okay, so I'm going to hold up the elk one last time. We've got $100 bid on it. So if anybody else wants this, you need to speak now or forever hold your peace.
You should make yourself big.
With the elk butt. Okay, just for a minute.
Kat says she'll wait too.
Okay,
we got $100 on the elk butt, which is a beautiful butt with a really nice rack above it.
This picture's got it all.
And you know I'm famous for my butt, so.
It's true.
So we got $100 on that, and we're going to call it good here in a few minutes. So if anybody wants it, you need to throw out a bid. And if not, I'm going to pay my internet tomorrow. I've got the cards that my little ones are going out in right now that I've been packing them up in these cards.
Oh, sweet.
And somebody from Australia needs to send me their address still, but you know, I'm not good about that.
Okay, I tell you what, let's try and do that now. Yeah. Also, that's kind of, I like to thank Sam again, because this also just feels like, I don't know, got to process that happened.
Yeah, Sarah's getting one of my famous butts. She's getting the Sasquatch butt. Which is not showing up very good. But yeah. And then, of course, is the famous horse butts that somebody got yesterday. See, I'm telling you, it's those butts. They're pretty popular. Everybody likes my butts. Yeah, we'll call TJ. TJ has the elk butts is sold to TJ for $100.
Nice. Good score, TJ. That's a beautiful picture.
It really is. It is truly very nice to see it find its home.
Pardon me. Truck out in the paddock.
And anybody that wants to throw out a $5 super chat, Blacky will belch for you.
They just got
Sorry I volunteered you for that, Blacky.
It's all right. I'm a willing participant.
Rainy, windy, wintry day here today. Enjoying a bowl of beef 2-minute noodles with crushed chili, ginger, and garlic added. That sounds good. That sounds good.
Nice. What I used to do, I don't anymore, and it's a range of things to do with gluten intolerance and spice intolerance for my children, but is to get like the chicken 2-minute noodles, and then you can buy in the supermarket these packs of dal, like really, really spicy pre-made dal. And I'd chuck it.
Bunny Viper lost her volume too.
Oh. I wonder what's happening.
Yeah. It must be a YouTube glitch thing going on. And TJ, what did you want repeated? The elk sold to you for 100, andYway threw up the PayPal on that, and Blacky belch. Did you want to hear him belch again?
I haven't got one queued up, sorry. But I am hurting.
Go down, Mikey, letting us down.
Mm-hmm.
Meow.
Okay, Bunny got her volume back. Meow. 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 What is my obsession with butts? I don't know. I just like butts. And I cannot lie. Actually, it started with like bulls, like in rodeos and stuff, because I love their butts because they got so much muscle that like that ripples in the sunlight, you know. And then also, I always used to have quarter horses, and quarter horses also have really nice butts. They have like a nice sharp definition line on their butt that's like just makes you want to grab hold of it and draw it. Yeah, I like butts. Mostly it's the muscles that like the muscle definition in the sunlight is just like really fun to draw.
Contours.
Yep. And horses' butts are one of my favorites. And you got to admit, like, pig butts are extremely cute. I mean, butts are just nice. Cats have the cutest butts with their little circle thing. Some people like cat's paws and some people like cat butts, you know.
Oh dear, I'm experiencing the same pain that I had from what I thought was too much pizza the other night. Fuck.
Where's it coming?
Like right at the top of my stomach, under my diaphragm and right around my back. That's the back's probably referred pain.
Well, because you know I get those pains that like fully have me just like weeping and laying up in bed, and that's like where they are, and it comes on, and I've had like a bunch of tests. It's not my appendix. And it's not.
See, I used to get like after I'd eat something like spicy and stuff, I'd get like awful pain like right underneath my ribs. And it turned out it was my gallbladder that had to be removed. So just saying.
Yeah, it probably feels more appropriate for that. It's way too high for appendix. Appendix is down low, low, low.
Yeah. What is it? Your lower right of your navel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Those pains I get are like pretty severe, but yet no one's yet worked out what it is.
Yeah, I was getting them for quite a long time, and especially like after I ate pizza, or I remember one time I had some a pastrami hoagie sandwich, and the next morning I woke up and oh my God, I hurt so bad underneath my ribs. And then it got to where I just like almost every day it would just hurt underneath my ribs as soon as I ate anything. And then one morning I woke up and I was just in so much pain. I ended up driving myself up to the emergency room. And yeah, my gallbladder needed to be removed, which they said was like and the pains I've been having that pain for like over a year. It's really stupid of me. And anyway, yeah, they told me that my gallbladder, to remove it, it would be about a 45-minute operation, and same day, like the 45-minute operation plus a couple hours in recovery, and then have somebody there to take me home. And it ended up being seven fucking hours in surgery because my gallbladder was so inflamed and stuck to everything around it.
Brutal.
And they and then another week in the hospital instead of being a same day operation. And it was a famous gallbladder because all the nurses and doctors were going in during their breaks and watching the film of it getting removed, because I guess it was just like they'd never seen anything like it. And I was like, maybe I should have gone in sooner. Maybe I shouldn't have quite let it get that bad before I drove up to the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my saga of my famous gallbladder. That all the doctors and nurses were watching the film going, holy shit, look at that. It's not generally a good idea to let things go to get quite to that point.
How did they determine? Do they ultrasound or some other?
They did ultrasound, and yeah, and they did a like a CAT scan, and yeah, and then it was supposed to be like they don't cut you clear open anymore. They just like have these little tools. They make like 3 holes in your stomach and go in with the tools and the camera and remove it that way with just very small, non-invasive holes in your stomach. But I ended up, instead of having 3 holes in my stomach, I had 6 holes in my stomach by the time they got done.
Yeah, right. Wild.
And I hate that I had to have my gallbladder removed. A lot of people have had it removed, yeah, but it kind of destroyed my health. It's like not totally destroyed my health, but things are definitely different since I've had my gallbladder removed. It's like there's a lot of things that I can't eat because I'll be sitting on the toilet all day long if I eat it and stuff like shit like that. So yeah, it's not fun. I wish I never would have had to have it removed.
It's responsible for producing bile, which is a digestive juice that we need. So potentially without bile, you're not digesting food properly and getting all your nutrients from it. No, I think
don't wait too long to get it checked out, Benny. That was a the moral of the story I just told about having a 7-hour surgery instead of a 45-minute one. So don't wait till it gets really, really, really bad before you actually go get it checked out.
Well, I'm quite happy to say that even though about 2 minutes ago my pain just got so intense, it seems to have abated now. I was poking at it. Maybe I poked a hernia back in or something. But GRB says, isn't appendix check the old digit up the butt? But yeah, I think that's more regularly used for prostate exams, and I don't even think they do the finger up the bum too much more these days.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they use ultrasound for prostate as well.
There you go. Yeah, I think
my ex,
appendix up the butt. Sorry.
my second ex, Al, he went in for, he had to get like a physical for work and stuff, and he asked me to go along with him. So I was in the waiting room while the doctor was talking to him, and the doctor told me that I would have to leave the room, and then he explained that, you know, he was had to give him a prostate exam and what he was going to have to do and stuff, and Al was sitting there looking at me because he didn't. English was his second language, so he was like staring at me, and he looked at me, he says, "What did he say?" And I said, "Just bend over and smile, honey, and I'll be back in a while." And the doctor started laughing his ass off. I don't want to hear about prostate exams, thank you.
Huawei says you can find out a lot about yourself with a couple of fingers up. Why stop at a couple?
Oh, dear. Oh, Bunny, that sounds nasty.
84 staples.
Oh, I remember after I finally got home and that stuff, I had like a 2-week checkup, and I went in and the doctor asked me how I was doing. Well, I had like a pinched nerve in my back, and that fucking hurt. I mean, down my arm and everything, like my arm would start hurting so bad. It was a pinched nerve in the middle between my shoulder blades. And I was hoping to get some good pain medication or anything, and instead the doctor just laughed and he says, "Hey, you were laying on a surgery table for 7 hours." You know, he says, "Give it some time." It's like, fuck, it hurt.
Holy taboli. That wind has got ice on it. It's just picked up. Big. Windy up there today, Scunch? Hey.
No, it's not windy at all.
It's been mad.
It is still.
That's a good point too, TJ. The old waiting too long could have caused more problems.
Yeah, that could have caused more problems. That's for sure, because I definitely did wait too long before I went in and had it looked. I waited until I absolutely could not stand the pain when I woke up in the morning. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't do anything. So, yeah, I definitely waited too long.
So, potentially, Bunny, heed Pam's advice. And a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Scungy has finally provided Pam with her address.
Oh, yay!
I did it like on the screen while we were talking, so I would keep myself accountable. Thank you.
You deserve it. It was a massive achievement for you today.
Well, I think so.
It's only been 4 or 5 days in the works.
I've got to really brave up to painting these guys.
Which ones are you painting?
Well, I think I should paint these, right?
Oh yeah, your little, and your mask too.
Can we make Sarah big so people that didn't see them in the last couple of streams can see them?
Yeah, you can, but I tend to think that making me big doesn't actually make a big difference. My light is shit. I'm gonna try this. No, that's not gonna work, is it? It's gonna be worse that way. Okay. That's also not better. So, sorry, forgive me, everyone. I think we did this the other day and that worked.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
He's still out of focus.
Just go back a bit. Yeah, that's a good spot because you get good light there as well.
Yep, that shows the shadows and stuff.
So stars are like, I want to go, oh, look at my cute eyes, but you can't really see them. It's just like, they're just like a bust, but without any bust.
Would it be ill-conceived to maybe do like a little short video of each of them onto your YouTube?
That would be awesome.
Because your camera on your phone's pretty decent.
Yeah, I maybe can. I just have to work on it and see. And I'm going to do as many more as I can with the... So they all have these sort of handmade glass eyeballs that are really cool. But so I have to do just... I'm going to do as many as I have eyeballs for. I have a bunch of them that are kind of big eyeballs, and because I want to make... I just want to have like, I don't know, 20 little guys like this. It's just that I'm really deciding because I have one. I'll grab him. I have shown him before, but hang on one second.
GRP, Mark, I think your doctor has a crush on you. Not my type.
So I have this guy who I made somewhat by accident. Hang on, I got to get the paper. It's just that I can't see it once I do it, so I get bored really quickly.
There is this wonderful crossover that I get between amphibian and small mammal.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like almost salamandery heads.
Yeah.
But with rabbit ears or dog's ears.
So I really like this guy, and I sort of made this one. My intention was I was going to make a whole creature, and then I just made his little head and stomped him there, and I left him. And he sat on my desk for so long that I kind of fell in love with him. And I was like,
that's what you got to do, Blacky, is go drive yourself over there and sit on her desk forever and ever and ever.
I would have to get off, once in a while.
Only for a little bit.
and also hop off the desk occasionally. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Aquamate's birthday today,
Yeah.
apparently. Happy birthday, Aquamate, if you're watching the replay or if you're here live.
Happy birthday. That is. Imagine him just like quietly working there.
Or what if he's on a wine tour doing his business and he's playing the string to his bus full of people instead of narrating the tour?
Imagine.
George, hello.
That would be good business.
I worked for Divine in the ambulance station yesterday. G'day, George. That wasn't a very fun one. We think Bob went to sleep, TJ. When was his work party thing? That was today, wasn't it?
Oh, that was yesterday. Or the day before. It was Sunday.
Right. They might have went nuts and he's recovering.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's probably went to sleep.
Bunny says those are fantastic, Sarah. They are pretty cool. I reckon they'll be, if you have a whole series of them, they'll be very popular at the expo.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to do, is just have a whole bunch of them. And, like, I don't know, I can't really explain them because they're just heads. But I like them and they make me happy. And the reason I thought I wanted to keep making them and sell them is because, like I was saying, the guy that I started making, and then he sat there and I really like him. And if I saw him somewhere, I would want him to come sit on my desk. So maybe that means other people will want these guys to come and sit on the desk. But the issue is if I paint them or not. Because this one I never painted. And
I like them like that.
You know, they're like, because the clay is, so the clay I've got is called, it's super sculpty, but it's called Living Doll. So it's meant to be like skin. And it has that really like semi-translucenty kind of skinny quality to it. And so in part, I'm tempted to just leave them because I like them. But I guess what I might do is just make one and give him a paint and see what happens. If I like it or not. Also, I did burn my one. It's okay because I'm gonna keep him forever. But what had happened is I didn't bake him after he was ready for a really long time, and so kind of like dust and fur and stuff kind of went on him. And I was like, well, instead of cleaning him, what I'll do is I got a lighter and I like singed off the hairs, and that was really good. But then there was this one like bit of fluff on the back, and I was like went to singe it off, and I burned it too long, and he got like a little burn on his ear. But it's alright. It's all personality, and he's my forever friend anyway. Yeah, those are the guys.
Is it polymer clay?
Yes, it is.
TJ just asking.
I am. Yeah, these ones are polymer clay.
TJ also says, "Hey Sarah, can you make a couple pronghorns but different sizes?" You might have to explain a bit more there, TJ. Pronghorns for one of the existing ones, or for a new one.
Yeah, well, the existing ones can't really get new horns on them, but I can make. So I was already talking to my boy because he's been doing some clay stuff with me because, it's fun to do making together. But talking about, I want to cut a whole series of little wires, and I want to make some little horns and teeth with a little piece of wire in them, so that then if I make a critter, I can add those little teeth and horn bits in. But my idea is I just have to work out, because I wanted to sort of bake those first and then put them in, because otherwise if I try and make those little teeth and then I'm fitting them in, I start misshaping them, and it goes for the horns as well. The horns, because they need like a structure inside them, because otherwise they're just
Floppy.
lose their shape. And once I start fitting them in, I squash them. So I thought I would just make a bunch of like teeth and horns and maybe hooves, but that's for a different thing. So I always have a few things going at once. But yeah, with their little wires in, and then bake those guys, just not too long, but bake them so that I can make dudes and put the horns and stuff on and hooves.
Can you, like, if they are, let's call them parboiled, like if you partially solidify them in the oven, can you overcook them?
So the only thing I've had before is I had a critter that I made, and some of the edgy bits got a bit overcooked where they started to brown, because it is this like clear color. As it turned out, they browned so perfectly that it looked like it was meant to be, because he browned on like the tips of his ears and the tips of his, like, all the little edges. But yeah, I think they can overcook, and that's why I'm wary of cooking again with them.
Yeah, because I'm just going on, Ed, when his timer goes off for his oven, he's certainly very keen to get them out the oven on time, sort of thing. I was wondering if he thought that was his concern.
I mean,
they fall apart.
Definitely. Well, it may make it more brittle. The one that I like overcooked, it's not brittle. I've like played with it, and it's just got a gentle browning, and it just turned out to be like a really nice color scheme on that. But I would be wary. I mean, you definitely don't want to well overcook them. You could wreck them more, as I showed with this one, just like a flame. And I mean, it was a second that I had the lighter on there, and he got a burn.
Well, it's a polymer after all.
Yeah.
Very reactive to fire.
So, you don't want to be kind of careful. And that's where I don't know. But it depends, because see, so I make some felt dolls and things. And if I make polymer clay pieces, I can bake those guys to attach on, like as a hoof or horns. I've made horns for some of the dolls and stuff like that. And so that's not a worry, because they don't have to bake again. It's only the ones that I want to make as like teeth and stuff to put into another clay to bake again that I need to be careful about, because if otherwise I'm just baking them and then they're baked, and then they can get sewn on, because you can attach little wires and stuff. Hang on, I'll see what I've got here. this is not quite it, but this is a little something that my son made, a little goat head, and he's made it with a wire hook on the back,
Uh-huh.
so that he can attach it on to the toy that he plans to make with it.
US bunny.
So
What did we determine for postage? Is $3 American enough for postage?
yeah, I think so, because it costs me a total of about $5 Australian, so that I think that comes out to about $3. I'm not sure. I think it's sort of changed around.
Yeah, it's exchange rate's gone up a little bit. $3, $5 Australian is $3.39 Australian at the moment. So bunny.
5 Australian is $3.39 Australian.
Is that what I said? Then that's what I meant, isn't it?
Apparently.
American was one of the numbers that I should have said. $5 Australian is $3.39 Ameri dollar. Dollary doos. So yeah, $3, $4, $3.50, $4, something like that. I like his work. It's a good goat head. I'm a fan of goat heads.
It's a bit cute. He's done a few. He's got a few bits out there that he's working on.
Does he have an Etsy or a Patreon? Oh, is that what ours is called? Sterling. That's a good one. The Pacific Peso. I like it. Yeah, it has been fluctuating a bit lately, but no massive dips or surges. 10th of a cent a day. I'm so glad that pain in my stomach has eased, because it kept me awake all night the other night. It's brutal.
Yeah, I mean,
I
sympathise greatly.
I'm almost tempted to believe that it is a hernia, because it did stop after I was poking around quite fiercely in the pain area. Maybe I split myself open with too much pizza the other night, and
yeah.
I just confused it again. Huawei says Moonbiter Studios, but it's empty.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Which is Moonbiter Studios? I thought that was only your Instagram.
No, that's Etsy. Because at first, when I was selling stuff, I started that other Instagram because the Scunch Princess was private. It had all my drawings on it, but it was only for my actual real friends. So I had like 17 true friends I could really show my drawings to. They've changed the whole app.
Was Keating responsible for the Pacific Peso quote? Is that what you're saying, Sterling? He was such a good dude. Such a well-dressed Prime Minister. Just one lot of shipping, I believe, Bunny. I think they'll all go in the same package, will they not?
Yeah. And if there's no tracking, then it's just that. However much it is, cost me $5. So it's once I get all the bits in there.
And yeah, Bunny, if you're waiting till August the 3rd, who knows what the exchange rate will be doing by then. So yeah, that'd be good if you just work it out on the day and see how much you need to add. That'd be tops.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get a plant. I want to show Sarah because I think she'll like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think that's accurate, Sterling. To be fair, Howard wasn't the treasurer under Keating. Oh, unless Keating was in opposition and Howard was the treasurer. If that's what you mean. That's probably what you mean.
I didn't know about that. But I'm trying to remember what thing I got said the other day. Because, so I have this thing. And so on my eyebrow, you probably can't see it because I'm all white. I have like one really long eyebrow hair. Just one guy, and he's wild.
What's his name?
And so he's called Johnny. That's because we used to have a prime minister called John Howard who had like eyebrows, right?
Serious eyebrows.
And so, yeah.
Well, that's Sam the Eagle from the Muppets.
There's a song that I would recommend that people listen to. And actually, I can't remember what it's called, so I should look it up. Hang on. Sorry. I'm so good at telling stories, and I always do them really well. Just saying.
Especially when you need to cross-reference. Wednesday. Are we Wednesday today? Yes, Wednesday, Bunny. And yeah, about...
that's right. Sorry, I remember what it's called now. It's called Not Perfect. But anyway, it's by an Australian comedian called Tim Minchin. And one of the lines in it, because when he wrote the song, and like I think he still performs it and he may have like changed the lyrics since then, but at the time the Prime Minister was John Howard. And when he was singing the song, he was singing about, you know, this is my country and the guy who runs my country. And he was saying he's conservative of politics, but really rather radical of eyebrows. And, you know, that spoke to me. And so whenever I would see radical eyebrows, they get called Johnny after John Howard. And, you know, that's kind of a little nod to Tim Minchin, who I like very much. I highly recommend that you watch and listen to Tim Minchin.
I believe he's achieved quite a level of success in the US.
Has he?
I believe so.
I don't know. It's a really good song. I really like that one. It's my favorite that he does.
I believe that the pronghorn that TJ's talking about would be one of these guys here. Just a second.
Yeah, I think Tim Minchin's another one of those Australian comics that made their way in the UK before they became big in the States. It's quite a pathway for Australian comics to get big.
They look like interesting horns.
They look like rhinoceros beetles' claws.
Yeah,
They
right.
do kind of, huh? Yeah, there's a lot of them around here. Wyoming has a ton of pronghorns everywhere. They're kind of interesting little critters, and the thing that's cool about them is they're smarter than deer because they don't get out on the road and get hit. You very, very, very seldom ever see one being hit by a car or a truck, whereas deer get hit a lot.
I'm surprised that the sample image you've used only shows half of the butt.
Yeah, huh? And they got a really nice butt. I've done pronghorn butts before. I know that surprises you, but yeah, I have. Um, oh, and this is a. Oh, I gotta turn my camera on again. This is a plant that I was going to show you that it's just got a couple weeks growth into it, but I really like the leaves, so I thought I'd show you because I think you will appreciate it. If I can turn my cam on.
Isn't he funny anymore, Huawei? I still think he's funny.
Oh,
Aren't they kind of cool? It's a
Yeah.
bulb.
Yeah, I've got them.
it looks
You
really.
got some of those? Yeah, the silver squill, and
It
they
looks really
grow out of
cool.
little bulbs, and I really like them. I really like them. I had one about 30 years ago, and I saw the little bulbs for sale and thought, you know what, I'm going to get one and get it going again, because when I had it, I really liked it, but it's been a lot of years since I had one.
I got another version of that too that's quite plain, but its leaf stalk is quite long, and it's got just a small roundish shaped leaf.
Oh, wow.
No spots though. It's just a plain green one.
That's what I was going to say. I think I've got one that's a bit similar but very plain. I really like those spots.
Hang on, I'll show you mine.
Mine's currently melting away from cold and lack of sun.
Ah,
All the leaves are just like, yeah, melting's a good way to describe it.
As you can see, this one's probably a little bit due for separating.
oh, that looks pretty cool, though.
Swelling out the top like mad. Yeah, it's just a little.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need to get it separated, because if I remember right, the one that I had 30 years ago, that's how I lost it. Was I let it get too many bulbs in the pot, and it got ripped down, and then it just rotted, and I couldn't stop it. And let me blow you up, Scungy, so you can show us that again.
Oh.
That is so cute. It's an owl. An owl skeleton. A skeleton owl.
It's hard to see stuff.
Anyway, yeah, Blacky, get that separated before you lose it.
Yeah, there was already.
That's how I lost. That's how I lost my silver squirrel that I had like 30 years ago. I just kept it had so many bulbs that were draping over the sides of the pot and stuff, and then it started getting rot in the middle, and I couldn't stop it. And it was from being too packed in. I should have separated it long before it did that.
Yeah, there was already one bulb hanging outside that pot. I just chucked it in another pot. But yeah, there's multiple pots of that guy over there because they're quite prolific, and they're need the splitting up and repotting quite often.
Yeah,
I've got no idea where my spotty one is though. I wonder, did it suffer the same fate?
I always thought that the spotty one, I always thought it looked like a like this one here. I always thought it looked like army camo.
Very nice. I like speckled plants. There's a a bromeliad that I really like. That's like a red and green, but it's got the real splotches. And it's really cool. But it's also cool because it is one of the, it like climbs up the tree. So
Oh, that's cool.
it's like a smaller size. I think most of the smaller size ones do climb. The big ones will climb too if you give them the opportunity, but some of them are really huge.
Yeah, it's fun to see pictures or video of bromeliads in their native habitats. The shit that they climb all over. I saw some good ones of power lines, and bromeliads had secured themselves all along the different power lines, but they weren't causing any problems because they weren't making contact with the other ones.
What are you getting into, dog?
Mm-hmm. A tinfoil box by the sound of it.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Get over here. Get over here.
Don't worry. Suddenly I thought I haven't seen you.
Huawei. Jim Jeffries put out a special not long ago. It was quite funny. Probably about 2 or 3 months ago. If you haven't heard anything since then or since before then, it's a very good special.
3-hour notification. I think that Grasshopper's trying to tell us that we've been going 3 hours and it might be time to stop the stream.
I was wondering what that meant. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, or 3 and 3 for that matter.
So, well, he knows that I'm trying to like not go over my StreamYard hours.
Frugalize.
Not till the end, yeah. Trying to be a little bit frugal. So, it probably is a good time to stop the stream. I want to thank everybody for coming in, and thank you, mods, and thank you, Blacky, and thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Bunny and TJ, for your purchases.
Congratulations,
and
you two.
Support, and yeah, congratulations. I think you're both getting some really cool art. And I will see everybody Saturday night, if not before. Good night, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Hooroo.
Hooroo.
Oh, we got to get a crikey. One crikey.
Blacky.
There you go. That was a good one. Okay, good night, guys.